Have you ever wondered if teaching abroad could completely change your life, or just simply curious about how teachers are able to land teaching jobs in Qatar? Well, you're in luck. Today I am going to be talking about one of the questions that I get asked the most. How do you land a teaching job in Qatar? This topic sparks a lot of excitement, sometimes nerves, because it can open up a world of possibilities. By the end of this video, you will know exactly where to find the job listings, which qualifications schools expect, how to stand out during interview, and I think one of the most important things, what to look for in a contract. This might just be the roadmap that you've been waiting for.
God, you call me by my name.
First things first, why do so many teachers choose Qatar? Let's break it down. Qatar is known for offering tax-free salaries, flight allowances, housing allowances, and so many other benefits, including insurance, which obviously could mean a significant financial freedom, all of which can significantly enhance your financial stability. I would say that moving abroad feels like a giant leap because they are leaving behind what is familiar to them and basically stepping into the unknown. But I can tell you from my personal experience that taking that giant step and that giant leap of faith of the unknown and trusting the process has huge benefits and rewards. Trust me, I want you to picture this. Picture yourself. One weekend, you're exploring Qatar's futuristic skyline. Then you're immersing yourself in traditional market or desert safaris the next. You choose your poison. There is so much to do in Qatar. And let alone it is such a safe country, especially if you are coming here with family. So I've done enough talking and rambling. Let's get to what you are here for. Where do we find these teaching postings? Guys, I get asked this question so many times and I have answered it in my previous teaching in Qatar videos, but I will do it one more time because I feel like people tend to forget that there's other videos that they can watch, but let's just answer that question. The best place for you to find teaching jobs for Qatar and anywhere else, to be quite honest, is international teaching boards. In my previous videos, I've made mention of Teachaway, Seek Teachers. I've also made mention of test jobs, especially test jobs because that gets updated regularly and schools in Qatar use that platform quite often. So if you want to land a job in Qatar, I will suggest that's the first place that you try. I know that some people might find this next one quite daunting and they might not want to do it, but listen to what I'm saying. Some schools usually will have a website. On their websites, they will have a career section. Please familiarize yourself with the different schools that are in Qatar, whether it is the British school or American school, and find the school's websites, go onto their websites and look under the careers section. That is where they will usually post jobs before listing them in international job boards. So familiarize yourself with different international schools that are in Qatar. And you know, you guys, I always look out for you. What I have done is I have created a free downloadable document in the description box below where I have actually listed the different international schools that are in Qatar, British and American. And I have also included the school websites for you. So I'm trying to make life easier for you, so do check that out and download it and let me know if you found it useful, and please do share it with other people that you might know who might be looking for jobs in Qatar. A lot of people also do recommend using LinkedIn. I personally have never been successful in securing a job through LinkedIn, but I do know of different people who have secured jobs through LinkedIn. So do create a LinkedIn profile. Make sure that it is up to date and it shows and portrays that you are a teaching professional and you are looking for a job. Now, the one thing that you might find difficult to do is not giving up. I will always say, don't give up, keep on applying. You are going to have to apply to a number of jobs before you get that one call that says, yes, you are being called for an interview. And even that is not guaranteed. But I will suggest that you keep track of all the different schools that you've applied to. And of course, I like to make your life a little bit easier. As always, I have created an Excel document. I can't speak. I've created an Excel document for you guys in the description box. You will find the link to it in the description box. It's absolutely free, where you can actually keep track of all the schools that you've applied to. It will have a drop-down menu where it actually tells you which stage you are in the application process. So do check that out. And again, if you find it useful, do drop it in the comment section down below and let us know what you think. The most important thing I will say is you need to know whether you have all the required documents or the requirements for you to be able to teach in Qatar. I know of people who say, I've been a teacher for so many years and I've been applying, but I'm not getting a call back. Why is that? And I'm like, do you have the right documents? Do you have the correct qualification? In Qatar, they basically want you to have a Bachelor of Education or a PGCE. Sometimes if you have a qualification in a specialized field, so for example, if you have a BSc in mathematics and you do 1 year of PGCE, they will accept that. But it has to be a teaching qualification somewhere in there. You cannot be a doctor and come and want to be a teacher, unfortunately. Just like how we as teacher cannot go and try and operate on somebody on the theater table. So obviously that has to make sense. Another thing that you need to make sure that you have is a teaching license. For South Africans, you need to have your SACE. All of these documents have to be attested, your degree, your SACE. And again, I have made a detailed video right here detailing all the documents that you need to have and the different procedures that you need to follow in South Africa in order for you to get your documents attested. Please do go and watch that video. I'm not going to go into too much detail in this video. I'm just, if you want an in-depth video, do check this one out. The school year in Qatar usually kicks off in August or September, but the hiring process starts way earlier than that. The peak hiring season, I would say, is from November to February, because schools do want to start working on contracts, sorting out visas, relocation, and also organizing orientation for newcomers or new staff. So that is the peak hiring season. But I would say that for existing staff, your letter of intention, which is basically the teacher telling the school if they are going to be renewing their contract or they want to stay on with the school, you are asked to submit that in April. I would say March, April. So after April, the school, that's their final time or stage where they get to know who is staying on and who is leaving, and they are going to be starting the hiring process from April. I would say maybe from May up until June, latest July. So yes, the peak season is November to Feb, but it doesn't mean that once February is gone, then you don't apply. Because as I've mentioned, teachers who are currently in Qatar do hand in their letter of intent around March and April. And if there are teachers who are leaving, then obviously spaces open up and the school would definitely need new teachers to come on and replace the teachers that are leaving. So don't lose hope. Apply even if it's after Feb. Just keep on applying. Promise you consistency and not giving up is going to help. Okay, so we've covered where to look, where to apply, and what is expected of you academically. Now let's move on to the interview process, which I think is the most nerve-wracking part of all of this. Now, each school obviously conducts their interview process differently. They will tell you about the interview process way in advance so that you can prepare yourself. I would presume with majority of the school, your first initial communication will be with the HR department, where they will talk about your availability, so when to schedule the actual interview with either the head of school, the principal, or both, and sometimes a panel. And they will also talk about what you are supposed supposed to have for the school, for the interview, and what to prepare for. I have also done a very detailed video on the interview process before, so do check that out, where I talk about what you should, the do's and basically don'ts of the interview. And I would suggest that you come prepared. Please do your research on the school. Make sure that you are professional, you are dressed accordingly in a professional manner. This is an interview, it is not a coffee date. You do not know the people that are going to interview you, so you do obviously want to make a very good impression. What you are going to be asked, 9 out of 10, is you are going to be talking about your teaching philosophy. You are going to be asked about your behavior management skills. You will be asked about how you manage a class that is diverse, and obviously how you include every single child in your classroom. So differentiation, what different differentiation strategies do you use in your class to ensure that every child is catered to? These are things that you should be doing as a teacher anyways. So if you are able to speak upon that, trust me, your interview is going to go well. What the interviewees want to see is that the interviewees or interviewer, what they want to see is that you have a good grasp on the teaching strategies, and you are a teacher that is able to adapt and be flexible according to the children that you have in class, because in Qatar we do have children in the classroom that are very diverse and they come from different backgrounds. So you as a teacher, you have to be flexible. You have to show that adaptability is your middle name. The interview process is definitely a nerve-wracking thing, but I also want you to understand that you are also interviewing them. You are seeing if the school is actually the right fit for you. And I think if you come to the interview, or you go into the interview with this in mind, it will ease your nerves, because you obviously don't want to go to a school as well where you can clearly see that they are not the right fit for me. And the school that does eventually take you and you do land a job with them, maybe that's the school you were meant to be with in the first place. So don't go in there with the feeling of, oh, I'm not good enough, I'm not going to succeed. Think positive. Tell yourself that if the job is meant for you, it will be for you. And also sell yourself. Show all the things that you are good at. These people do not know you. This is the time where you need to make sure that you show all the things that you are good at as a teacher. Tell them about the good things that you've done in the classroom. Tell them about a time where you were able to adapt or change a curriculum to suit a child who is ESL. Tell them about a time where your kids were engaged and you felt that the lesson went well. Sell yourself. Tell the interviewers what makes you a good teacher and makes you stand out from everybody else. Think of it like a performance, and this is your time to shine. Whether you get the job or not, you will have the sense of accomplishment and you will have the sense of achievement that you've done something and you've done it well. So now let's assume everything has gone well, you've secured the job, and it's time for you to get the offer letter. What does the offer letter have? Now this is where things start getting a little bit dicey, because you obviously want the best for yourself, and if you haven't taught in Qatar, you wouldn't know what a good package looks like. So again, this is where I say, even before you apply for jobs, go into the job listings, look for the benefits, and if you do not see benefits that align with what you need or your needs or your family's needs, then do not apply, because 9 out of 10 times what you see on the job listing is what you will get. So what should you look for in a contract or in a job offer? The salary in Qatar is tax-free, and you will also be given flight allowance. Now again, I say this, please take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. Not all packages from the schools are the same, especially if you're going to be working in a private institution. Majority of the international schools, if not all, are privately owned. They are not owned by the government, so they do not have to adhere to a certain pay scale or benefits, not like the country you probably are in right now. I know in South Africa there's a pay scale and everybody gets paid according to a pay scale. Same thing in the UK, same thing in America, Canada, and so on. In Qatar, it doesn't work like that. The school basically decides how much they want to pay teachers and what benefits they want to give the teachers. Obviously, there are benefits that have to align with ministry guidelines, but others do not. So it's according to the school as to what they want to give you. So I would say, Chanel, do ask questions. Ask if you are going to be provided housing. Ask if tuition is going to be provided for your kids. And if it is it 100%? Is it for one child? Is it for both children if you have more than one child? Ask about flight allowance. Is the school going to give you a flight allowance at the end of the school year? Are they going to give you or you and your family members and dependents? And guys, ask as many questions as you can. Your HR is not going to hit you for asking questions. You will rather walk into a job knowing exactly what you are walking into, rather than walking into a job and you find yourself in a situation where what you thought you were going to be earning and what you thought you were going to be getting is absolutely not the case. So ask questions. Housing, what type of housing are they going to give you? If they say housing is included in your salary, does that mean you are going to be given a 1-bedroom apartment even though you were a family of 3? Does that mean you are going to be sharing an apartment? What does that mean? If they say accommodation is provided, what type of accommodation is provided? These are questions that you need to be asking, especially if you are coming with family, as well as knowing when your probation is going to be up. Now, this you can obviously ask when you get here. I don't think this is a question that is so rushed or needs to be asked, but it will be nice for you to know how long your probation is, because if you are under probation, if you get sick, you do not get paid. So even if you have a medical certificate, now I'm talking from experience and from what I have seen, maybe other schools operate differently, but if you are still under probation, if you take a sick leave or a sick day, that is counted as unpaid. So that's why I say sometimes it all depends on you. If you feel like you should ask how long the probation period is, then obviously do so. Another thing that I think is important for you to ask is your contract length. Ask how long is the school going to be employing you. Is it a 1-year contract, a 2-year contract, or an indefinite contract? So these are questions that are very important for you to ask and for you to get straight answers on. Red flags are where you ask a question and the school is wishy-washy and they're not really giving you a definite answer. Straight away, red flag. So some people might ask, can I negotiate? Personally, I have had the balls, and I'm going to be frank, I have never had the balls to negotiate my salary. And I'm being pretty honest because I've just been too scared to ask for more, even though I knew that I should technically be getting paid more. I don't know, it's just been a thing of, okay, what I have been offered in the past was enough for myself and my family. So that's why I've never felt like I needed to ask more, even though I knew that people with less experience or teachers with less experience than me were getting paid a little bit more. I was okay because my husband, Love, was getting, sorry, I call my husband Love if you are new to this channel. I knew that Love was getting a decent salary that covers everything that I wasn't getting. So yeah, do what works for you. If you have the oomph or the gust or the just or the courage to negotiate, then obviously do so. When my family and I landed in Qatar, I'm not gonna lie, it was a mixture of excitement, it was nervousness, it was just fear of the unknown. Guys, we've been here for 11 years and I always say we wouldn't have stayed here for so long if Qatar wasn't a good country. Yes, it does come with certain challenges, and if the good outweighs the challenges, then what are we complaining for? So that's why we've been here for so long, because for us it makes sense currently. So let me ask you a question. What excites you most about teaching in Qatar? Is it the financial stability or the financial freedom that you might get, or is it just the change of scenery? What is it to you? What makes you want to move to Qatar? Whatever your reason is, I want you to hold on to that excitement. I want you to hold on to that reason of why you are doing all of this, and that is going to keep you motivated throughout this process, because as I mentioned, it is daunting, it is long, but it is definitely worthwhile. I hope this video has given you a thorough roadmap as to how to find and secure a teaching job in Qatar, from searching on the right platforms to meeting the requirements to nailing the interview and finally finalizing that contract. Above all, I hope that you feel more confident that this dream can actually become a reality. If you want more in-depth tips about life in Qatar, like immigration processes and visa processes, because those can be very challenging, be sure to check out this video where I outline the immigration and visa processes and procedures in Qatar. Thank you for watching, and if you have found this video helpful, please do make sure that you give it a like, and also do subscribe if you haven't. Don't forget to tell your friends to subscribe to my channel. And remember, your next great adventure, I love you guys, might just be one application away.